Hello, everybody. Welcome back or welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Abby, if you don't already know me, and welcome to another episode of Bonnet and Bonics. This is episode four, three, four, three, I think. Anywho, so I start school on Monday. It is my last first day of school. I'm so excited. But I was having a conversation with a friend the other day, and we were thinking about, all the freshmen coming in and like how we've changed over, the last 4 years of college. And um, I was thinking about how when I entered college, I went in with the assumption that I was going to have zero friends, when by the time I finished. I thought I was going to be lonely. I wasn't expecting anything for real. And that was at the time where my confidence was like super, 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 super low. And I didn't really think I was worthy of that, or I didn't even think I could get to that point. And although now my vision of how friends were back then is nowhere compared to how it is now, because I'm okay with having a couple close friends. I don't need everybody to know me. I don't need to be I don't need everybody to know my name. I don't need to be the most popular person on campus, blah, 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 blah. There's thousands of people. There's going to be one person you at least don't know. Okay, cool. So I wanted to hop on here and I wanted to give my little hot take or one piece or thought piece about the fact that not everybody. Let's rewind that. Today's topic is going to be stop expecting everybody to like you. So the other day, outside of this conversation that I had with my friend, I went through an experience per se. And somebody I had known from a while ago came back and we were talking. And the conversation made me so upset because that person that I stopped talking to, and then I guess we were just chopping it up then, right? The person I left at that moment, in my perspective, was still the same person. I feel like between the both of us, I have grown, I have matured, I have also done certain things to no longer be the person that they knew at that time. And I actually posted it on my spam because I got very upset because that person was kind of coming for me for the fact that I'm no longer the person that they knew. And I don't ever, I mean, sometimes I'll post on social media, mostly on like my spam, like little think pieces, all that type of stuff, right? But I never post stuff that's like me being angry. But that person had called me at like 2 a.m. in the morning. And I was like, you know what? I'm up now and I have the time. So let me read for y'all what I had said. Let me find it real quick. So, in context, that person who I very, very much valued back then was kind of making digs at me because, the person I was back then was I was a overpleaser. Mind you, this wasn't that long ago. This was like a couple months ago, but I personally have put in a lot of work into myself to no longer be that type of person. And I genuinely feel like it's working. But, the person they were used to is Abby being very overgiving, always being there when you call on her, overplaying her part, blah, 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 blah. Cool. And they expected, at least from my interpretation, when they called me, they expected me to be that same type of person. Because Abby in the past would have been that same type of person. I would have, started acting the same way. I would have asked if they were okay, would have said, oh, if you need help, I'm always here, da. And that's no longer me. Not saying that I don't do that for people, but for people who have treated me a certain way, I have learned, and I'm still learning, but I have learned to detach myself and also don't let people walk over me. So after that conversation happened, it was about 3 a.m. in the morning, and I posted on my spam because I was very, very angry. So this is what I wrote. So I said, let me make something very clear. If you really think that doing a whole bunch of stuff in college, having your name on everything, going Greek, whether it's social, service, or business, having hella followers, going out all the time, mean you something, you really something for real, babes, when you walk that stage, even if you make it there, you're gonna find out real quick if you ain't have a lick of personality or identity or awareness of who you are before any of that, you're gonna feel like a loser once you leave college. Life don't give you no points for being involved. People don't care, because I use other words, people don't care that you are in 17,000 orgs, a social media influencer, and know this person and that person, that you can wake up for a 9 a.m. class after getting in the crib at 6 a.m. The older I get, the more I realize you are going to struggle so hard when you got bills to pay, God forbid another mouth to feed besides yourself. You got to take care of your health, make sure you have money to sustain yourself, because all this college life popularity stuff does not matter once you're done with that stage. If you entered lame, act lame, and leave lame because you reached your peak in college, I personally feel sorry for you. The same people I used to envy living by themselves in college, partying, skipping class, they got all the friends, hella followers, everybody know them, are the same ones who are struggling 3 to 4 years down the road to pay rent every month, find a job in their career field, and having to pack up and go right back to square one. And I'll be damned if someone makes me feel less than because I don't care or because I don't do or have what everybody else got. I am growing, not grown. My potential doesn't stop over these 4 years. Come correct when you talk to me. And then I said, people will hate to see an educated person satisfied with what they got going on. You're very lame if you think people don't know that you aren't perfect. Talking about what could have been, what you got going on, but you sit at home still in the same spot I left you at. Opportunities banging at your window because you scared to open the door. Good day. I used to cry about what I thought I missed out on, and little did I know that God was going to war to protect me from what was not worth a second of his daughter's time. I wish somebody would downplay me and my accomplishments and thinking it hurt me. All that to say, the person I was before, I will say, let's go way back. Let's go to middle school, high school Abby. Middle school, high school Abby cared so much about what people thought of her. And to an extent, I still do now, but not in the same way it was then. I cared to the point where it was like, if this person doesn't see me as good, then it is my job to fix their perception of me. Personally now, if you're not very close to me, if I don't know you from a can of paint, and if you're not family, I could care actually, let me not even say that. Because even certain family members, I personally don't care about, like, I hear what they have to say, but I don't care about their opinion on something simply because this is not their life and they can't see what I see through their eyes. I don't care. Like, it is not my job to convince you of who I am as a person if I already know who I am. Middle school, high school Abby didn't understand that. I thought that everybody had to like me, or at least the people that I cared about had to always have a good perception of me. I thought that no matter what space I went into, if I avoid conflict, everybody would be like, oh, she's a very sweet girl, and I could avoid any hate towards me. As life went on, I had to realize that no matter where you go, you could be the sweetest person. You could be a little cupcake with a cherry on top. And there's going to be one or more people who are not going to like you simply because you're a cupcake with a cherry on top. Some people hate positivity. Some people just hate pure negativity. There is going to be one person that is never going to like you, and you cannot convince that person to like you. There is a poem called Excuses. No, Lies. There's a poem called Attitude. And I really, really like this poem because it talks about how no matter what you do, you cannot control other people's actions. All you can control is your attitude towards life and your attitude and how you react to other people. Not everybody is going to like you. You cannot convince everybody to like you. Everybody will have a perception of you. You cannot change that perception of a person. It is up to them. Not everybody is going to heal from whatever you did to them. Not everybody is going to accept the apologies that you also give to them. And you don't also have to accept just anything people present to you. I feel like in life, it is up to you. It is up to based on you, your morals, your perspective, and also how your journey through life is going. It is up to you to adapt, but it's also up to you to accept that things are never going to be perfect, because perfection, in my opinion, is subjective to whoever the subject is. Things may be perfect to me. My life right now is not perfect, but I'm content with it. But somebody outside looking in may be like, damn, Abby's life is very, very nice. I wish I had that. But I could also be looking at that person and be like, dang, I wish I had that. Nobody is ever going to be satisfied. Sorry. This is Hamilton. Sorry. But nobody's ever going to be satisfied. You can only be content. And I am completely content with the fact that not everybody's going to like me. Not everybody's going to like my opinions. And not everybody's going to vibe with just the way I am. Okay, cool. Because the way I was raised and also my faith in God has put this belief in my head where one person falls short, another person will be there to meet all the standards. And that goes for familial, platonic, and romantic type relationships. Like, there will you know how people say, oh, there's other fish in the sea? That's literally in any case where there's a thing a lot of Christians like to say: when one door closes, God will open another one. There are literally so many doors you could be banging on, and you're just not looking at the one that's wide open simply because you don't want to walk that far. Like, you have to understand that not everything is for you. You are not for everybody else, and that is completely okay. I think people tend to think that this is how things are supposed to go. And me personally, I'm still learning to be okay with change and everything like that. When I was younger, I hated change. Hated it. The only thing I liked to change was my hair on my head. But I feel like once you get over the fact that not everything is going to be perfect, my expectations are not going to be perfect. The way I go about things is not going to be perfect. And not everybody is going to even think I'm going to be perfect. Life is so much less stressful, personally, based on this past summer and what I've went through, the stuff I've healed from, how I feel like I've put work into myself, how I've matured. I think the fact that I can let that go speaks measures to how much I've grown, how much I've matured, and also what I'm willing to accept versus what I'm not willing to accept. I don't care if people like me, because if I'm content with who I am, then somebody is going to like me. If I'm content with who I am, then the things that are for me will be for me, and the things are not will be against me. That's just how it is. God said no weapon formed against you shall prosper. He ain't say no weapon won't form. Okay, then that weapon may be a person, but at the end of the day, if I went through this and I got through it, why can't I get over somebody not liking me, you know? And I personally feel like in college, that's a constant thing people think about, especially like when you're a freshman and like coming in, you're seeing all these, you know, new people, all that type of stuff. Like, bro, it is okay. You'll find your people. You will find your niche. You will find your space. You may even have to create that space for yourself, but it will come. It is okay. Like, you can't change how people are. You can't. You can acknowledge that the fact that they're growing, they may grow in a different direction from you, but you can't change that. They're going to go on that pathway regardless of what you think. You can try and help them. You can try and, be that little bug in their ear. Okay. But at the end of the day, the decisions they make is the decisions they make. And people have to accept that for you as well. So it's not up to you to hope and pray that everybody likes you. Because whether you like it or not, there is always going to be one person be like, I hate that person. Okay, cool. I have all these other people who love me. I love myself. God loves me. What do I need your disdain for me for? Okay, move on. But yeah, that's my little think piece. And I wanted to get on camera and say it. So yeah, it's okay for people not to like you. It's okay for not everybody to like you. And you don't have to like everybody either. This is life. So yeah, that's my little think piece. I'll see y'all on the next episode of Bonnet and Bonnets, whenever that may come. Bye!